tab open, you'll understand why God made those flyover states.
We have Luke Dean, Blair Thompson, and Jeremy Lowry with us tonight. You'll be hearing from Nate Pierce, one of the new voices of the Salem Lions boys varsity football. He'll be joining you live from Salem McDonald's and talking with our coaches for each Wednesday's program. Tune in for a front row seat to high school sports on WSLM 97.9 FM and WSLM 1220 AM. Along with live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Also, catch the Jeff Brum Show at 6:05 and stay with us for the Tom Allen Show at 8 p.m.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is the 49th season. I'm your host, Nate Pierce. We're going to be speaking a little bit tonight with Coach Blair Thompson, Jeremy Lowry, and Luke Dean. We got some sectional action that we need to cover, and here shortly, I'm supposed to have a co-host. Chris Hunt's supposed to be in the building tonight, but he's AWOL at the moment. He says he's on his way, but we'll see. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get right back into this.
Wouldn't it be great to find a dealer that puts their customer satisfaction over their profits? Well, you have. Betty Gilstrap Motors in Salem, Indiana has been your hometown Ford dealership for over 80 years. No hassle, no pressure, and ranked in the top 6% nationwide for customer service. Specializing in Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Betty Gilstrap Motors is your one-stop shop for your sales, service, and auto body repair needs. Visit us today at EddieGilstrapMotors.com or come see us at 207 South Main Street, downtown Salem, Indiana.
Let's get on our feet and give a big hand to the starting lineup at McDonald's here in Salem. The quarter pounder is coming on the field. Filet of fish and those golden delicious fries are warming up on the sideline. And now for the feature star of the night, the Big Mac. You'll score every time with a hot, fresh meal from McDonald's in Salem, whether you're there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Take a time out and stop by before or after the big game to check out their all-day breakfast menu or value menu. Download the McDonald's app and you can get great deals on delicious tastes all day long, including buy 5 McCafe drinks and get one free. You'll score every time with the wife and kids when you make a touchdown at the Golden Arches right here in Salem. And don't forget, McDonald's has gift cards so you can give that great fresh taste all season long. Or stop by 601 South Main Street today. And be sure to tune in on Wednesday nights at 7 for WSLM broadcasting live at McDonald's for Coach's Corner.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward rehabilitation program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
All right, we're back. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So what a game Friday night.
Yeah, it's pretty eventful game, and glad we were the ones that came out on top.
Yeah, I'm sure you've listened to our broadcast. Me and Ryan, we kept questioning. He's like, man, every time we come out here, we're in a different offense. You know, we kind of want you to settle down and figure something out. But obviously, you knew something we didn't. And at there towards the end, we kind of figured you were just trying to, keep them on their toes.
Yeah, well, we came out in our power eye. And, we had some success with it on that first drive, and I didn't kick a field goal, and at the time I didn't think 3 points was going to be enough to win that game, and it wasn't going to be a situation where we were going to substitute or go back and forth with field goals and touchdowns, and hindsight, maybe I should have, but then they started loading the box on us, and it's a 6-1 defense and kind of forced our hand a little bit to either run the ball outside or throw it a little bit. And we had some success. We knew we were going to have some success in the short throw game. And, we played pretty well. And then, we got a huge spark from Devin in the third when we started hitting that toss play or the pitch play in our offense. And just had so many kids step up and play well.
Yeah, we mentioned that Devin came alive there and really made some differences for us and got that momentum going. We were a little worried that whenever the boys first came out, they kind of looked flat, and kind of like we did with Brownstown and kind of like we did with Charlestown, and they finally caught their steam over there. And it seemed like when Caden Cologne made his first big hit, it was all over with from there.
Yeah, we got that fumble, and Sammy Lyles came up with that fumble, and that was a huge play for us because we put it in the end zone and then got a 3 and out, and then came back down and scored. We ran a nice little 2-minute and put us in the end zone with I think it was 7 seconds left, something like that. So it was real good momentum. And like last year, we got down 14, and Reese made a nice catch, which should have been 14-7 at the half, and who knows what the momentum would have been like. And then this year we got down 14, and then tied it up right before the half, and you could tell at halftime that I thought momentum was in our favor, and we ended up having some turnovers in the third quarter that kind of put us a little bit behind, but just a great overall ball game.
Yeah, the thing was they were having turnovers as well, so you guys were able to capitalize on them just as much as they were to us, and the momentum after half just seemed like it was just everybody was on fire and ready to go. How did the game plan seem different this year than it did last year?
I think we talked about it last week, and I think you have to be in those big games, right? I said them over and over and over. You got to be in those big games to be able to win those big games. And I think this year, the boys were not intimidated by going down there. We knew that we could play with them, and we thought we could win the football game. And it just these seniors had been there and done that. I guess it was the biggest thing. And we got down, like I said, we got down 14-0, and it looked like we were going to get ran out of the building. And then all of a sudden, it was like, hey, let's go play some ball here. And I don't think the kids ever wavered. I mean, even when we were down 14, I don't think our sidelines thought we were going to get beat. Just continued to plug away and do what we do, and obviously got a great game from Porter. And when he's moving, it's hard to bring him down.
Yeah, when we went into overtime, the first snap, he just chucks it in. Runs right in for a touchdown, and that's you don't really expect that with that type of game. But whenever Porter is on the move, like you said, it's hard to stop him. Now, that kick from Johnny Talley, me and Ryan from the booth, it looked like he missed, and we were just, bummed out. And then whenever Ryan's got his head down and, shaking his head in his lap, and that referee, signaled that it was good, and I started slapping him, hollering, it's good. So we were real pleasantly surprised by that.
Coach Blankenbaker told him, hey, we're playing football tonight, not soccer. We're not trying to get it.
Don't want to drop it right there in the corner.
Got to go right in the middle.
Yeah.
Totally, go right in the middle,
Hey, Coach, Chris Hunt here. I finally made it in the studio. Traffic was crazy tonight, so it was hard for me to get here. But
don't let him lie to you. It's Salem.
It is. Hey, what did you say to them at halftime? Because it did seem like it was such a, they came out after halftime and they were like a completely different team. What did you say to them?
To be honest with you, I let them kind of just sit by themselves there for a little bit, and then probably probably 4 minutes ago before half, I just said, look, like we were in a situation last year. They took a touchdown away from us last year before the half, and this year we were able to plug it, score twice in a couple minutes, and we were getting the ball at the half, and I said, it's over now. I mean, we have all the momentum in the world. We believe in ourselves. We're the better team, and we're just going to go out and get it done. And I think, I just think that, when I've had this conversation with you guys both before, is, high school kids with confidence can do anything. And that's once they realize, hey, we can play with these guys and all, and just play with them, and we can beat them. And, when you're physically running over somebody, that gives you a lot of confidence. And, our offensive line was just punishing people, and it was just a really, really good day in the second half. And then, you think about it, we came out in the second half and turned the ball over in the second play.
Right. Well, and that was one thing that I was going to say is it almost seemed like those kids were self-motivating Friday night because, like I said, whenever Caden Cologne lit that kid up that first time, that was the first spark we seen, and it was just contagious. And it seemed like that's when everybody, finally fired up and decided, hey, let's play some football.
Yeah, I mean, if you were on our sidelines, you probably have been a little motivated by some of the things that Coach Thompson was saying, but I got into him pretty hard there in that first quarter, especially our defense, because all along we thought our defense was going to dominate them, and we didn't. You think about it though. We went the rest of the game after giving up those first two quick scores. We played real well the rest of the way, and I told the boys today, I was like, we left probably three touchdowns on the board. I mean, we could score probably three more times.
Absolutely.
So just a great game all around.
We seen where Porter got over 1,000 yards rushing this year. That kid, I mean, he's a monster. Every time he gets a hold of the ball, he does what he does. That Hulk smash thing that I always talk about. How big are you going to lean on him in this next game?
Yeah, we're gonna
run him like
what we're gonna do, and I think that one of the things that's kind of left out of that deal, even when Devin had his big runs, is I moved Danny to our cruiser spot. Malachi had been hurt some. We put Danny in that cruiser spot. Danny's such a great blocker on
absolutely.
the edge, and when you got Porter and Danny blocking for you on the edge, that really opens things up for you, and that's Porter would say the same thing about Danny. Like I said it all along, man. We have so many weapons. I mean, Mason Gilstrap got 2 carries, and one of them was for like 30 yards the first time, and it's not something that I go back and say, all right, how many carries did this person get? How many carries did this person get? But and these boys are so unselfish. We live in a society where it's all about me, right?
Right.
And these kids are different because it's not about them. It's about what can we? I just want to win. And if you watch, when Porter got his run, the other kids how excited they were at overtime, and then just as if you go on the internet, they're sharing all those things about Porter getting 1,000 yards. It's just different, man. This team's just different. It's exactly what I want to build our program about.
And I think
we continue and play another week.
I think you're going to see that for years to come with some of these kids too, because the lower kids, the middle school and all them coming up have grown up in that same environment, and I think you're going to get a lot more of that coming up.
Yeah, I think it's really, it's no fault to the kids, it's just the society we live in, and it's just different. And to continue, we live in a social media world where, if somebody does anything good, a parent wants to put it on the internet, and I challenged our kids at the beginning of the season. I said, look, like, if somebody does something good on our team, I want to share it, share it and be excited about your teammate doing something, because, that's where we're going to, when we start winning sectionals and we start winning regionals, that's when people are going to get noticed, and everybody has this want to go play college football, but the further you go in the tournament, the more chance you have to go somewhere else. And
that's right. More people are going to be looking at you.
Coach, I noticed that when I was watching that game on Friday, when you watch that and you watch how you went from power I to wing T and go back and forth, it really reminded me of like an NFL team.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't watching a high school game at that point. It was like it was an NFL team. How, with that many plays, how are they able to remember that much stuff?
Well, one of the things we like to do in our offense, in our base offense out of the gun, is we like to have as many formations as we can, but run the same 4 run plays. So a lot of that stuff is just smoke and mirrors,
right?
To where we want to make the defense think we're running a bunch of different plays, but in reality we're not. So we're going to hit them with some motions and hit them with some different looks, and then obviously we don't pass the ball as well out of the power I as we do out of the gun. And so when they started, we tried to really make the power I stuff as simple as possible. I mean, we went back to the old numbering system,
right?
And so And then we went to, ISO right, ISO left, fullback dive right, fullback dive left. I mean, that was pretty simple. It's hard to mess that one up,
Right.
And I just think that, we got smart kids. We're not the stereotypical dumb football players, especially up front, and then we got a lot of 4.0 kids on the line, and we got a 4.0 quarterback, 4.0 receiver. I mean, makes things a lot easier to do.
Absolutely. That's something that's been kind of bred in them from the time that they were, playing youth football. We've always told them, look, we want smart players, not dumb players. We want kids that are doing what they're doing in school and minding their parents and this and that. So, it helps whenever they get to you that, it's especially that power eye thing. Any of those kids that ever played for Jeff Medlock, they remember those plays, I promise. He snuck that in every chance he got. All right, so we're going out to Fort Branch to play Gibson Southern next week. What are you looking forward to there? What's the plan?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, we have an opportunity to play the second-ranked team in the state of Indiana. The first-ranked team got beat this week or last week. So, as a player and as a coach, you gotta kind of really get excited about having the opportunity.
Yeah, just getting to play that game is something special.
Yeah, and I think as a defensive player, you get a chance to play against one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen as a coach. And this is the second time I've got to see him. My first time he was a sophomore. Now I was the defensive coordinator, and then now I'm on the other side of the ball. But he's a senior, so I think that we are this team. We're not intimidated by anybody. We've talked about that before, even though we looked like we were against Charlestown a couple weeks ago. We won't talk about that, but
right.
We've played. We played against a tackle at Charlestown that's probably going to play on Sundays.
Right.
And now we're going to play against a quarterback that will probably start for Purdue next year. We're just excited about the opportunity. And like I said, I know it's cliche, and that's what every coach says. We're excited about the opportunity, but we are. We have a chance to go down and beat a team, and that they will. It's state finals are bust for them, right? There's nothing else. For them, it's an unsuccessful season if they don't win a state final. So for us, we have nothing to lose, and so we're going to go down there and we're going to throw them every blitz that they've seen. You're going to see some trick plays. You're going to see some unorthodox stuff that we're going to throw the kitchen sink at them and see how it goes.
There you go. That's the way to do it. All right, Coach. Well, that's about all the time I got for you tonight. I appreciate the call, and I will see you on Friday night.
All right, fellas.
See you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorcare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877. This is Becky White from WSLM. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, this is Jalen Orr over at John Jones Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Salem, Indiana. Fall is beginning, and I know that everybody is hearing of all the shortages of cars, but that is not true whenever it comes to John Jones Chevrolet. We've got over 550 used cars, 210 being just at our Salem location. With those vehicles, even though they are pre-owned, we do offer financing options. A lot of those are including $0 down. Now, with those used cars, we are accepting trade-ins. Trade-in values are better than ever and probably better than we will ever see again. So with that being said, give us a call over at John Jones at 877-473-5546 or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com.
At John Jones GM City, you see so many because they paid so little.
See Celebrity Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They've served nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-0670. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
Hi, I'm Justin Green, Mayor of the City of Salem. Go Salem Lions! If you're planning that bonfire during or after the football game this fall, please use caution. I want to remind you to be safe around your bonfires and avoid starting any fires during extremely dry conditions. Also, I want to remind you that only fires you can have in the City of Salem limits should be no bigger than a 3-foot square area and 3 foot high. Burning brush and leaves in the city limits is prohibited. Just like the Salem Lions, we're proud of the hard work our firefighters do at the City of Salem Fire Department. If you have any questions, please give our fire department a call at 812-883-4970. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back and we're live with Coach Luke Dean. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, it didn't go quite as how you expected it last week, so you guys are done for the season, but that gives you opportunity to move on to next season. So how did you feel about the game last week?
Triton Central's a good football team. They're a great program. Like I talked about last week, they're a 2-time defending sectional champion. And, we knew they were going to bring in a unique challenge and something we hadn't really seen all year with the passing attack, the ability they had there. It's our kids played hard and, we did some good things. We rushed for 250 yards, averaged 6 yards a carry, and somehow managed not to score a point. It's just, we struggled with turnovers again, and a lot of that leads back to just some of our youth and making some mistakes that we hadn't done before, and it's kind of one of those things. It seems like every week we're doing that, and like I said, our kids played hard. They had a quarterback who's a sophomore. Just listen to Coach Thompson talk about the kid from Gibson Southern. This kid at Triton Central's on a similar track. He's a 6'3" kid. He's a sophomore. He can throw the ball as good as anybody I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of talented kids. So, it was a long night for us. And once they figured out they could throw, and they had some better athletes on the perimeter than we did, it was a long night for us just covering and trying to contain their offense. And I think after the second drive, I don't know, they ran the ball maybe 3 or 4 times. They just threw every play, and we got them in 3rd and long and 4th and long situations, and they would convert. And hats off to them. They're a great team, great program, and like I said, our kids fought hard, and we played a lot of young kids this year, and that's going to help us in the future. A lot of freshmen and sophomores play. Majority of our starters were freshmen and sophomores, and I think that's going to help us going down the road. And we did suffer some injuries. Mason Walker is a kid that is one of our best players that suffered an injury, week 2, first quarter, and was out the rest of the season. Talon Smith's another kid that's a big lineman for us that we got hurt week 1 and tried to play through that injury. And, the injuries kind of took its toll on us as well, which forced us to play some of these younger kids a little earlier than what we anticipated. And, but it's one of those things where we did a lot of good things, and, we could see progress in our kids, and we felt like we, even though we lost a lot of games, we didn't lose any of our fight from our kids. They came every week. They practiced hard. They had a good attitude, and, they never gave up. And, week in, week out, I thought they gave great effort, and they kept a good attitude, and that's as crucial as anything.
Yeah, you'll get no argument from me there because, seeing your boys play, they played like they were, they were undefeated. So they never backed off and never took their foot off the pedal. And it sounds like from what you're saying that your defense played pretty decently on Friday night. Just had a hard time getting those 4th down stops.
We got some situations, and we don't face a team that goes 4 and 5 wide a lot and throws the ball, and our defensive personnel's not. That's not our strength to cover cover that. And
Right.
And all they did was find the right matchup, and they had a lot of speed. And like I said, that quarterback, even going back to my college days, there's not a lot of guys I've seen throw the ball like that. So,
Right.
he's a super talented kid. He's got elite arm talent, and he made good decisions with the ball. And he found the right matchup, and he, like I think I talked about last week, he's one of those kids that we watched on film where he rolls to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback and just flipped it down the field 60 yards in the air, and it's just not something you see every week. And once they figured out that we were going to struggle to cover that pass, it ended up being a long night. And our goal was to try to get pressure, and we did that. And we got a lot of knockdowns, we got a lot of hurries, we got a few sacks, but the kid made some great plays, and they got some speed on the edge, and they got a good receiving core. And ultimately we just couldn't keep up with that pace. And hats off to them. They're two-time defending sectional champ for a reason, and they've had a great program, and they play a really tough schedule as well. Played a lot of those indie private schools, and so we knew we had our work cut out for us. We felt like we could run the ball. Our strength was going to be running the ball at them and trying to use clock, and we knew they were going to try to bring that passing attack. And like I said, we were able to run the ball, but ultimately penalties and turnovers were our downfall. And it seemed like every time we got down and close to the red zone or in the red zone, we got a 15-yard penalty or a 10-yard penalty and got behind the chains, and just never were able to recover.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that they found the right combination, and that's kind of the name of the game is finding what works and adjusting here and there. But sometimes you're just outmatched, and like you said, your team's rather small and rather young, and playing against odds like that where they're playing in these private schools, within their schedules and things like that, it's just a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, I mean, just watching film, we knew that we would struggle to cover, and how long could we keep them from figuring that out? And we tried to mix up some zone, we tried to play some man and do some different things, and like I said, it worked for a few downs, and hopefully they would find a way to catch us. And our kids, our linebackers, our outside backers, which are essentially strong safeties, they are not used to having to cover like that. And we're not talking, you had to be right on the guy because the kid could just throw the ball on a rope anywhere on the field. And even when he was under pressure and got hit and those kinds of things, he was still making those kinds of throws. And it was different, and it was an experience. I told the kids, I mean, you're not going to face a kid that throws the ball like this very often, if ever again.
Right. Coach, I've got Chris Hunton in the studio, and I think he's got a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, now that your season's over, where do you start as a building for next year? I mean, do you take like a month off and then get the kids that back in the weight room, or do you let the other sports take over? What's some of the things you do during the summer that we can look forward to talking about?
He didn't listen to Coach's Corner last week, obviously.
I did not. No.
Well, first thing we'll do is I always give the kids a couple weeks off. This week being one of them, and then next week, and I've got a meeting set up with our strength coach to go ahead and get our plan ready for our kids who are not in elective PE, so weights class. So if they're in the weights class, then they're going to follow the program we have in place there. I encourage all our kids to play multiple sports, whether that's in the winter wrestling or basketball, or in the spring or on the track or playing baseball. They're doing something in the off season. I would rather them do that than not be doing anything. So ultimately, our goal is to get all the kids in weights class. So the ones who are not in there right now, we'll start after school weights here in a couple weeks and start working with them 3 days a week. And once the open period opens up in December, where we can get out balls and do some drills, we'll do some of that stuff. Just work on basic fundamentals, quarterbacks, just footwork, throwing mechanics, work on some short routes in the gym, that kind of stuff. Linemen, same kind of thing, just footwork and steps, and learn our zone concepts. Defensively, we work on leverage and attacking near hip of ball carriers, that kind of stuff. Anything we can do inside that's you can do without hitting and without pads, and that kind of thing we'll do, and try to get our kids, keep them involved, I think is important. Whether, if they're not in another sport, I feel like it's important to keep them doing something and just keep them involved. And, once the spring period opens up, we'll do the same thing. We'll lift from now until really, we don't really stop until next year, until the season's over. But, the open spring period, it comes open in April, and then, once summer starts, we'll go back into our normal routine of summer, and we go 3 to 4 days a week all summer, and, we'll get back in the flow. And, I think one thing for us that just kind of reflecting back, talking today about it actually was, you kind of forget it's such a long season, and you get so busy and tied up with middle school football and youth football and obviously with the high school stuff. But, we had a very young team, and, missing our scrimmage, I really felt like it really hurt us. Because we did have some upperclassmen who didn't play last year because of COVID, and not having those reps and just a little bit of experience hurt us, because by the end of the year, some of those kids that we really felt like were going to be strong players for us, they were, but they weren't early on because they just kind of missed that, just that experience and those reps that, from last year, and missing the scrimmage and that kind of thing. And, you can't substitute game experience. You can try, you can do things in the summer, and I've scrimmaged teams in the summer and felt like we did really great and handled them and scored more than they did, and then this turnaround season and get beat by them. So, you can only take the summer reps with so much, truth as far as how much that means. But, just that game experience is so valuable. And I think for us this year, we were forced to play a lot of young kids, and I think that's going to really help us moving forward. But the key is going to be, everybody in the weight room, and, come second semester, most of our kids will be in there. The way our system's set up, that, they take PE that first semester, and that second semester they get into weights, and just get them in there. And I can tell a difference. I talked to George Browning today at the paper, and he mentioned the same thing. He can start to see a difference in that program. And, when I first got to Eastern, we had two classes of weights and 2 periods a day. Now we're up to 7. And it's taken its effect, and, there's no secret to the weight room. It's consistency and working year round and sticking to it. And, I think it's really starting to help us, and it'll keep showing here in the future.
All right, Coach. Well, that's about all the time I got for you tonight. I appreciate you calling. And listen, it's been a pleasure to get to interview you every week this year, and, every week that you were available. And, I hope to be here in this seat next year to get to talk to you a little bit again.
And we're also looking forward to next year's youth.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for having me, and appreciate you guys, and take care. We'll see you next year.
All right, Coach. We'll see you next year. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
At American Family Insurance, we know your life has many moving parts, from your 4 wheels to your hard-earned home and the financial future of your family. We'll cover the things that matter most. Bundle your home and auto policies for possible savings, and add life insurance for convenient, future-focused protection, so you can keep dreaming towards what's next. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For details, contact Rodney Bruff, agent at Rodney S. Bruff Agency Incorporated. Call 812-277-1400 or stop by 1528 L Street in Bedford today.
Keep playing. Keep working. Keep going. And keep moving with the unmatched orthopedic care at Baptist Health. With a best-in-class team and procedures you won't find anywhere else in the region. It's no wonder most people choose Baptist to help them keep on keeping on. Visit baptisthealth.com/ortho to find a Baptist Health provider.
If you're searching for a career, GKN can provide an opportunity for you. GKN Powder Metal in Salem, Indiana is your full metal shapes solutions provider. GKN is currently recruiting for CNC operators for 12-shift schedules, which is 3 days 1 week and 4 days the following week. You may apply in person Monday through Friday from 9 to 3. Starting wage is $18.45 up to $24.75 based on experience, plus 60 cents per shift premium for night shift, and a full range of competitive benefits. Competitive wages and medical, dental, and vision insurance. Life insurance optional. Free short, long-term disability. Free life accident insurance, plus 401k savings plans with company match. Shaping powder metal into high performance and high precision components. GKN provides leading powder metal expertise and process experience to transform ideas into production. GKN is an equal opportunity employer.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us at firstharrison.com. Keep it easy, keep it local. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Good coverage doesn't have to cost more. If Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance insures both your vehicle and your home or farm, you could save 18% on your auto policy premium and 20% on your homeowners or farm owners policy premiums. Own a motorcycle? Earn 18% on that premium with a qualifying auto and save an extra 5% on your auto with a personal or umbrella policy. Want to know how to save? Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm live with Coach Jeremy Lowry. How are you doing tonight, Jeremy?
I'm doing well. How are you, buddy?
Oh, we're doing great up here. How was that game?
Very good. Very good. Kids played really well, prepared real well all week long, and came out Friday and did what they need to do, put that preparation to work, and, we get another week.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game this time of the year. You got to win one to play one. So, moving on, you guys are going up to – are you guys going to Springs Valley, or are they coming to you?
We are going to Springs Valley.
All right. How you think that's going to work out? You guys ready for that?
Absolutely. We've had a great week of practice and super proud of our kids and how they've gone about their business and preparing and getting themselves ready to play. We got one more day tomorrow to sew some things up, get the rest of the hay in the barn. And, it's always interesting when you get to play a team a second time. And,
oh, yeah. And in case in point, this past Friday night, you guys got to play them again, and it was basically more of the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. We knew, that obviously that Rock Creek, their kids have worked hard, their staff has worked hard, but they've had their struggles through the year. And, we knew there was going to be some opportunities to be made out there. But, your kids can only do what they're asked to do. And that's what they went out and they executed the plan and took care of business. And, super excited, like I said, to get another week. The Valley matchup it's an interesting one because, one, it's a familiar opponent because they're a conference opponent, and two, obviously we've played them already this year.
Right, and I think whenever you guys played them last time, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like the first time Valley had beat y'all since 2017, I believe it was.
A while back.
It had been a while back, so you guys know the way, know how to get there. You just have to convince everybody else that that's where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both football teams, familiar opponent, but I think both football teams are a lot different than the first time we played. There's a lot of things that have changed since, that would have been our second game because we missed games.
Right.
So basically we were off that 2 weeks and then we played them. And
you always mature through the season anyhow.
What's that?
You always mature through the season anyhow. You change.
Yeah, and both teams have. There's certain players on our roster that aren't there anymore, that aren't available anymore. There's certain people on their rosters that aren't available anymore. That changes the dynamics of your football team and kind of changes your identity along the way. So, yeah, it's a familiar opponent, but we're both in quite a bit different places than what we were.
Right. Hey, I've got Chris Hunt with me here. He's got a question he wants to ask you.
Hey, Coach. A quick question here. when you're going into this game, what is something different that you're going to try this time versus what it was the last time you played them?
Well, for us, I mean, obviously schematically, there's going to be some differences. When we played each other week one, obviously, you can say we're going to trade this tape and trade that tape, but bottom line is you have to assume that they have every game we've played this year and have film on that, and they can pretty much so rest assured that we have most of their games. There's really no secrets there on what they're doing schematically. Okay, the biggest thing you got to focus on are how your teams handle certain situations, and it turns into a lot of situational football. It turns into a lot of how you have grown as far as being able to handle adversity. And, you got to build off of the good things that you did the first time. You got to correct the major mistakes. And in some cases, you just got to put some stuff to bed and chalk it up as, you get in a football game, sometimes things just happen.
Right. And
so at the end of the day, when you put that all together, it really boils down to what kind of frame of mind your football team is in this time of year and which direction you're going.
Yeah, and on September 10th, you guys had it was a 61-22 loss to Springs Valley. And
absolutely,
that's one of those things that I feel like you're going to go in there and you as a coach, I believe you're going to have the right answers and try to turn that around with your game plan. And strategically, that's one thing that you got to keep your eye on. And I know you know that. It's not something I'm telling you that's new, but I feel like your kids are scrappy, and I think they've got it in them to go in there and flip the script on these guys.
Yeah, our kids are excited. Our kids are practicing as well as they practice all year long, which is always a great sign when you get to this time of year play. Sometimes if you've had some struggles, and we've had some struggles, sometimes some kids are ready to wrap it up. They're ready to move on to wrestling. They're ready to move on to basketball, and that is not the case. I mean, if people were to come out to our practice, that is not how things are being ran. It's high energy. Our kids are super engaged. Our kids are watching film. Our kids are turning over every rock they can to prepare themselves and get them ready to play Friday.
Right, and that keeping those kids, chomping at the bit and having those kids that are that excited really makes a difference, and like Ryan and I were saying in the booth last Friday at our game, on any given Friday night, weird things were happening. We weren't supposed to win last Friday night, and we come out with an overtime win. So it's one of those things that you can't, as long as those kids are staying focused, I think you're in a good position.
Yeah, that's why they play the game.
Right.
If they just went by your regular season record, we wouldn't have a tournament. They'd crown people.
Right, and that's the thing. Watching you guys play us that Friday night, even though it was the score didn't reflect how you guys played. You guys are a tough football team. You're small, you're young, and you got to have everybody healthy. And it seems like everybody that was there for the right reasons. They had their head in the right place.
Absolutely, and our kids, they're used to winning. They're used to postseason success. It's not unusual to be in this situation, and our expectations are to move on. I mean, our expectations are for me to be talking to you this time next week.
I sure hope so.
Our kids are aware of those expectations, and that's why we're working. That's why we're out doing the things we do.
All right. Well, I'm going to wish you guys good luck next week, and hopefully, I hope that even no matter the turnout, you'll give us a call next week to discuss the game Friday night. And it's been a great season, getting to interview you, and I'm really happy to be the one that's interviewing you on your inaugural season back in Washington County.
I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate everything you do. Looking forward to talking to you guys next week, and best of luck to everybody in the county still competing. Really appreciate it, fellas.
All right, Jeremy, you have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Take care, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be back with some inspiration.
If you're searching for a career, GKN can provide an opportunity for you. GKN Powder Metal in Salem, Indiana is your full metal shapes solutions provider. GKN is currently recruiting for CNC operators for 12-shift schedules, which is 3 days 1 week and 4 days the following week. You may apply in person Monday through Friday from 9 to 3. Starting wage is $18.45 up to $24.75 based on experience, plus 60 cents for shift premium for night shift and a full range of competitive benefits. Competitive wages and medical, dental, and vision insurance. Life insurance optional. Free short, long-term disability. Free life accident insurance, plus 401k savings plans with company match. Shaping powder metal into high performance and high precision components. GKN provides leading powder metal expertise and process experience to transform ideas into production. GKN is an equal opportunity employer.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us at firstharrison.com. Keep it easy, keep it local. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Good coverage doesn't have to cost more. If Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance insures both your vehicle and your home or farm, you could save 18% on your auto policy premium and 20% on your homeowners or farm owners policy premiums. Own a motorcycle? Earn 18% on that premium with a qualifying auto.
If you're
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877. This is Becky White from WSLM. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, and this is Jalen Hoare over at John Jones Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Salem, Indiana. Fall is beginning, and I know that everybody is hearing of all the shortages of cars, but that is not true whenever it comes to John Jones Chevrolet. We've got over 550 used cars, 210 being just at our Salem location. With those vehicles, even though they are pre-owned, we do offer financing options. A lot of those are including $0 down. Now, with those used cars, we are accepting trade-ins. Trade-in values are better than ever and probably better than we will ever see again. So with that being said, give us a call over at John Jones at 877-473-5546 or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com.
At John Jones GM City, you see so many because they paid so little.
See the Liberty Home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I got a couple of quick announcements. Girls basketball is getting ready to start up, and it looks like November 6th at 7:30, Salem will be playing Seymour. Greg, where's that at? At Seymour. And then November 5th at 7:30, Eastern will be at Borden. And November 4th, I don't see a time on that, but it's probably about the same. West Washington at Clarksville. So we wanted to give a little bit of love to the sports that are up and coming in the next season. Got a little motivation here for everybody. This is something that we do every week. This comes from Mike Singletary. You guys will remember him. He was one of the Chicago Bears for years. His quote is, "Do you know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play." And at this time of year, that couldn't ring more true because, you know, as I've sat here and talked to the coaches all night tonight, that's you've got to win one to play one this time of year. So, you know, if you lose, you're going home. So it's a matter of, you know, getting out there and playing your hardest and playing that game and, you know, just getting to play the game.
You know, and it's not necessarily just who's the better team, honestly. It has to do with who actually wants it more. And
that's a great quote because, you know, the opportunity to play, some kids are out there, yeah, they're, you know, have a lot of talent, but you know what? They might have that day to where, you know, that day is just like, it's not going to be very good for them. But that opportunity to play is a huge part of what football should be about.
You know, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to do, especially starting young with the youth group, the youth football. When we do our youth camp, a lot of times we have a hard time getting kids there because A, they can't afford it, B, they're out of town, or you know, they just don't know about it. But I wanted to take as many of the variables out of that as possible. So whenever I owned my motorcycle shop, we would take donations from people. I had donations come in from clear across the country in Washington State to be able to sponsor kids so that they could get, you know, the opportunity to go to those, you know, the camps, the, you know, the clinics, whatever we were doing, even sponsoring kids to play, you know, football, giving them that opportunity to play, so that, you know, they can determine for themselves whether this is for them or not. That's the only way that we can help grow our program, even at the varsity level.
Yeah, because all those kids that are out there, you know, on the youth side, on the middle school side, you know, they need to make sure we need to make sure as coaches, as parents, as you know, leaders within our community, we need to make sure that we get all the kids out there to be able to play as much as possible because, you know, there's some kids out there, yeah, that, you know, their parents can afford to, you know, come out and play with youth football. Well, guess what? We'll take care of that. We want to make sure that, you know, those kids have cleats, have, you know, all the equipment. You know, don't worry about the you know, if you can't afford the entry fee, that's fine. We'll work on that. We've got, you know, kids in middle school. I supplied 3 kids this year with cleats themselves, and you even had, yeah, you had donations, you know, last few years for cleats. And
yeah, we had the Cleats for Kids program that we did,
and that was awesome. I mean, it was great because, you know, we never had kids actually have, you know, go without equipment, and you know, when we have that type of a group come together, you know, you, me, Medlock, all the coaches involved, you know, I cannot, you know, emphasize more that, you know, how much, you know, everybody just chipped in and got us where we needed to be, especially for this year. And I'm sure it's that way with every program.
But, you know, if something like that, if not being able to afford entry fees or not being able to afford, you know, cleats or equipment or anything like that is your issue, I promise you, you get a hold of one of these coaches or you know, the director or whoever, president of the league sitting right here, your kid's going to play. You're going to get the equipment that you need.
I guarantee
it's going to happen. So if that's what's holding you out of, you know, playing contact sports or playing sports in general, I don't care if it's basketball, you need new basketball shoes or whatever. Get a hold of one of us football coaches. I'm sure somebody will help out. You know,
because multiple sports actually helps our program also.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, you know, you look at football, you know, or football, basketball, wrestling, each one of those sports, and baseball, you look at each one of those sports, they all complement each other. And, you know, Luke said it best, you know, he wants his kids to do something.
Right.
And, you know, and you know, my family, you know, with, you know, my 2 boys, I'm like, I don't care what you do, you're going to do something. And I never forced them to do anything, but I said, once you start, you know, we need to make sure you continue to grow to what you want to do. And if it was wrestling, you know, they continue to grow. If it's football, baseball, my kids never played basketball because, you know, my kids are horrible at basketball. Yeah, yeah, I got a lineman and a quarterback. Right. So, you know, and my quarterback, he just doesn't like basketball. So,
right. Well, if I were a head coach and I were going to try to push a kid a certain direction, you know, I would take, you know, my wide receivers and my quarterbacks and things like that and push them towards basketball because I feel like they would benefit more from that. But I'm going to take my linemen and I'm going to take my defensive backs and I'm going to take my linebackers and I'm going to push them towards wrestling because that contact, you know, you're fully in contact during wrestling. So that's where I'm going to push them during that season. And singlet season is just around the corner. Matter of fact, my son's at practice right now. And, you know, I'm so excited for that. I wish we had a coach's corner for wrestling, but we may have to just push that into the new, into the new sports talk show. So, but
Greg, yeah, can you give us an extra hour for, you know, for coach's corner wrestling, the wrestling version?
Yeah. So,
you know, wrestling 2.0 or.
I've never been a basketball guy. I don't play basketball, but the athleticism of dragging yourself up and down that court for however long it takes. I mean, that's my hat goes off to them. It's one of those things that I was a lineman too, so it wasn't.
Well, it's about a contact sport.
Well, right, I'm a lineman. I was a lineman, and I'm 5'8", so basketball.
You all don't realize how much he hits me during the broadcast.
I do. I hit him all the time, but not just the broadcast. I mean, have you ever really talked to this watch? It's Chris's, and I was thinking about this today. Whenever Chris and I first started coaching together, we were helping Aaron Howie when my son's second year of football, and I don't know that we really liked each other very much back then.
No.
It was Chris was just trying to quit smoking, and he was really irritable and didn't really know a whole lot about the game yet. We were working on it.
Everybody.
And man, I tell you what, that friendship has grown. We're the best of friends now, and people. If people were to sit and hear us talk to each other, they'd think that we still hated each other. But
that's all part of the fun.
That's just part of the game.
And I was talking to a couple of friends of mine today, and I said, with all the people within our circle, some of the things we say to each other, you would think, oh my gosh, you guys really hate each other.
But it's just like whenever I was leaving the house today, Jen said the same. She's like, "How are you guys even friends?" And I was like, "Because we don't BS each other. We tell each other straight up."
Yeah, but also I can really it's very hard to offend me, and I think it's pretty hard to offend.
I've tried really hard.
Yeah, and I don't really ever get mad. I don't get jealous. I don't get and that's just part of me.
Now wait a minute. He gets mad.
I get mad.
He gets butthurt.
but I don't.
A few
get
days
jealous.
later, he gets all right.
Yeah. So yeah.
And that's one thing.
Ryan knows. He knows he's on the Ryan Steepleton. He knows. So
he's going with me and Ryan Friday night. So he may be mad at me by the end of it, but it's all right. It's all one big family. And that's what football and sport, sports in general does. It breeds a family that isn't blood. But guaranteed that there are kids that 10 years down the road that I've coached will remember my name, and they will still come up and give me love, and likewise to them. If they ever need anything, they're gonna call on me, hopefully, and I'm gonna be the same way with them. If I need them for something, I'm gonna call on them, and we're gonna take care of each other, and that's what family does, and that's what we've built here in Salem and in Washington County in general.
Well, Nate, we've done a lot with, when it comes to the linebackers, which is the booster club for the football team. That's one thing me and Angie Tucker's talked about. We said, we don't do this for our kids. I mean, we do this for the kids. I mean, because, and I say our kids, it's like, every time I go to the locker room to load equipment up on the trailer, or to go feed them on Thursday nights, that every one of those kids in there, I feel like they're our kids.
And that's the thing that I think I mentioned, that there's a situation going right now where a couple of our kids are, they're in a bad situation at the moment. Hopefully they'll get through this very well, but I don't look at that as those poor kids. I look at that as, my kids are hurting.
Right. Exactly.
And
we need to and those kids need a hug. I mean,
I wish you could read a text message I sent earlier.
You know me, I'm a big hugger, and
I know.
And
big crier.
I am a big crier too. Everyone should know that. Sometimes, especially when I get emotional, it's. You've seen me at every banquet that we've done, and it's like, oh my gosh, here we go. But
he doesn't cry quite as much as Trevor Smedley, but
yeah, well, that is true.
I'm getting ready to get a text.
But you know what? What the reason I cry, and the reason is because it's so emotional for me, because those kids mean that much to us,
right?
When we tell those kids how good they are, or how. Or even when they screw up, hey, you screwed up here, but we still love you. And, we have kids that still come up to us today and say, hey, you're still coach, and I'm not a coach anymore.
Right.
But to them will always be, hey, Coach Hunt, or Coach Pierce, or Coach, Coach Ryan, or, whatever the case may be, when you coach, you've got to coach with not just the discipline, but the love that has to go along with it. Because, like RJ told me one time, he goes, this was
the time that
this
he
was
told
the
you to
time
get off the field?
He took my team away from me because I was not following his, what he wanted to do. And he told me, he goes, I've never seen a set of kids or a group of kids that respected someone so much as you. And at this young age, and I thought to myself, they respect me. Yeah, we lose every game and we're horrible because I'm not doing what I needed to do. But I've taught that as a respect out of love. It's not out of, you earn respect with these kids. You do not, demand respect. If you demand respect, you're never going to get it. But these kids, when they know you care, that's what means a lot to me.
Right. And, just think about the year that I coached the Buccaneers here in town. We didn't win a single game that year. We barely got any points on the board all year. But I tell you what, every one of those kids were proud to play for me and were ready to come back and play, and did come back and play for me. On that team, we had Reese McCoskey. We had Waylon Bramer. We had Bailey Bowes. We had Ty Sweeney, Sammy Lyles. The talent that we had on that team was so good that even though we didn't win any games, we knew what they were capable of, and they were still learning lessons.
Right.
So that team, whenever they went the next year, most of those kids ended up playing with us again on the Cowboys, and we went undefeated that season.
Right.
Didn't give up a single point that season. And then the next 2 years went undefeated in middle school, and then the following year went undefeated in the JV.
Right.
So, it's those kids that just because we had a bum season didn't mean they didn't know how to play the game, didn't mean they didn't love the game. So being a good coach, not to say that I'm some super coach, but knowing how to coach those kids into the game and, pick them up when they're down and
getting those kids to love it.
And exactly, and that's what I was getting at. It's one of those things that you've got to know how to do. And we've had kids that remember Aiden Jackie. He quit on us while we were winning
every day. It was every day.
Our first game, we were winning, and he's like, I'm done."
He came up to me and he said, "I quit, coach." This was every day, and I said, "Okay, Aiden, I'll see you on Thursday."
Yes.
It was every single day,
and I was so proud of that boy for coming back every time, and you've drugged my son out of the car a couple of times.
I have.
Donnie Gilbert drugged my son out of the car a couple of times, so it was, it's one of those things that you just got to know. You've got to you can't coach blindly. You've got to know how to reach a certain kid. Not every kid's going to respond to you the same way.
Aiden Jackie, is a prime example. He doesn't play football any longer, but he told his mom one day he was reflecting on back when, and this was like last year, and his mom sent me his text, and she was like, Aiden he just came up with I realized what Coach Hunt was trying to do. It wasn't because I was horrible. It was he was teaching me. He was trying to teach me how to play.
Right.
And and he really, and it said something to me that that he would actually remember that, and he really respects me for that. Every time I see him, I try to talk to him, and that's what you want to do, regardless if they play or not. It's that respect, and it's that love and caring that that these kids will carry on, and because we're not just making football players, Nate.
Right.
We're not just making wrestlers.
We're making human beings.
We're trying to make people that within our society, and I know everybody's thinking, oh well, it's a sports thing, but
it's really not.
It's not. It's about trying to make people that trying to bring these kids up to the standpoint of going, okay, I want to be a useful person within our society.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with sports. Everyone thinks it's about sports, but it's not. It's about teaching a team effort.
Team building efforts. And that's the thing. Whenever you get into the community later on in life, you know how these guys work. You know how to function with them. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't do anything but strengthen the community.
Exactly. When you have, like where you work, you work. You're not just individuals. If you was an individual, you would not be successful as the entire company.
Right.
And the same way with with my business or with anything else that you're doing, you are always part of a team.
Yeah, no matter if you're a one-man show or not, and to say you're, a trim carpenter or something that does your own thing, there are still people that you depend on.
Your customers.
Your customers, your supply chain. I mean, you've got to know how to work with them people, and being able to be social with people, and that's a big part of what sports is. So we got way off on a tangent here, but I'm glad we did. We're running a little over, but I think it's okay. But I will see you guys. I want to say this Saturday night at from 6 to 9, the Christian Heritage Chapel Church is having a trunk or treat. We did it last year, and it was a big success, and we're hoping to see everybody out there again. And we are trying to grow as a church, but we're also trying to have a safe environment for the kids to come, and we would really appreciate seeing everybody. This Friday night, catch me and Ryan Larimore on 97.9 WSLM. We're going to be at Gibson Southern out in Fort Branch, 2.5 hour drive or something like that. But we're hoping to get another W to get to play that next game. Also 12:20 a.m. catch. Are you going to do that one again, Greg? Greg is going to be calling the game for West Washington, and they are going to Springs Valley. And hoping to get their next win, so that they can play that next game. Catch me again here next week at 7.
I'll be here with
on
you.
Wednesday for Coach's Corner, and Squatch says he's going to be here, but we'll see. We'll see.
If traffic's not
traffic
crazy like it was tonight.
Salem, man.
It's the square. Everyone gets confused on the square when they're not from Salem.
All right, everybody. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you back here Wednesday on the radio.
God bless you. Bye.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. The experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Wouldn't it be great to find a dealer that puts their customer satisfaction over their profits? Well, you have. Betty Gilstrap Motors in Salem, Indiana has been your hometown Ford dealership for over 80 years. No hassle, no pressure, and ranked in the top 6% nationwide for customer service. Specializing in Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Eddie Gilstrap Motors is your one-stop shop for your sales, service, and auto body repair needs. Visit us today at EddieGilstrapMotors.com or come see us at 207 South Main Street, downtown Salem, Indiana.
Let's get on our feet and give a big hand to the starting lineup at McDonald's here in Salem. The quarter pounder is coming on the field. Filet of fish and those golden delicious fries are warming up on the sidelines. And now for the feature star of the night, the Big Mac. You'll score every time with a hot, fresh meal from McDonald's in Salem, whether you're there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Take a time out and stop by before or after the big game to check out their all-day breakfast menu or value menu. Download the McDonald's app and you can get great deals on delicious taste all day long, including buy 5 McCafe drinks and get one free. You'll score every time with the wife and kids when you make a touchdown at the Golden Arches right here in Salem. And don't forget, McDonald's has gift cards so you can give that great fresh taste all season long. Or stop by 601 South Main Street today. And be sure to tune in on Wednesday nights at 7 for WSLM. We're broadcasting live at McDonald's for Coach's Corner.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward rehabilitation program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit ASCCare.com or call 888-996-8272.
This is Becky White from WSLM. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, and this is Jalen Hoare over at John Jones Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Salem, Indiana. Fall is beginning, and I know that everybody is hearing of all the shortages of cars, but that is not true whenever it comes to John Jones Chevrolet. We've got over 550 used cars, 210 being just at our Salem location. With those vehicles, even though they are pre-owned, we do offer financing options. A lot of those are including $0 down. Now, with those used cars, we are accepting trade-ins. Trade-in values are better than ever and probably better than we will ever see again. So with that being said, give us a call over at John Jones at 877-473-5546 or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com.